Hi, this is my review of All Flesh Must Be Eaten Revised Edition. All Flesh Must Be Eaten is a toolkit for you to play a zombie game. You could create all sorts of things, maybe something like The Walking Dead or The Night of the Living Dead, or maybe something more in the sci-fi vein of things, but with zombies tossed in it. You can create all sorts of different things related to zombies. Maybe an adventure that has something related to the occult, with zombies brought back to life with or to undead with the power of voodoo or something, or maybe you want to something more as in weird science, where they inject the zombies with some kind of serum that brings them to that undead state. But the system is pretty solid, so solid in fact that you could play a game unrelated to zombies. Maybe you could create a game that has to do with spies or warfare or just modern adventures. Well, let's talk about the quality of the PDF. The PDF is well organized and it's easy to understand how to play the game, but however, it lacks a virtual table of contents and it has no hyperlinks. So it's going to be a bit hard navigating through the entire PDF. I recommend that you print it instead. And well, the book starts giving you a pretty good introduction of the genre, of what zombie movies, comics, etc. are all about, and you start to understand how to put together a great tale or story that has to do with surviving against all odds or against all zombies. And well, when you create a character in this game, the character creation process, it's a bit crunchy or elaborate, but once you finish it, you're going to end up with a pretty, I don't know, charismatic or a character that you remember even after he or she has died, because you're going to get all sorts of character flaws and advantages, and you're just not creating a piece to play in a board. You're creating a persona, a memorable character like those seen in your favorite zombie movies. And well, the game itself is pretty simple. It has some crunchy rules, but it's pretty simple. You just you get a group of people involved in some kind of misadventure. And so, for example, maybe your characters were mm, um, traveling across town, and their car breaks down, and it happens to be in a zombie infested city or something. Or maybe your characters belong to a secret organization and they want to go to outer space and investigate something, but that base in space is infested with zombies created by some sort of alien virus. You can create all sorts of adventures related to zombies, and the solid system helps you carry out those adventures almost perfectly. However, there are some roles that I think are a bit cumbersome. So, for example, when you make attacks or you carry out skill checks, you're going to have to check modifiers, and maybe you're going to get additional effects when you do this or that action. But it's kind of a lengthy process sometimes. That means it has that kind of like an exploding dice mechanic. So if you get lucky or unlucky, and you're going to end up rolling a lot of dice and just to get a certain result. So that may become a repetitive. So it's up to the game master or zombie master in this case to handle the adventure, so you don't have to be rolling all the time. And well, you have a list of weapons, of vehicles. You also get a lot of zombie types. This is not just your typical dumb zombie that goes walking around brains and all that. No, you're going to get all sorts of different zombies with different powers and with different weak spots, because you're not always going to have the classic zombie that goes down when you shoot its brain. You're also going to get other weak spots, maybe in some other parts of the body, or maybe the zombies are immortal and you have to carry out some other type of action. And the characters in this game feel pretty human, even the ones who have a bit more power. For example, the survivors are really tough. They're normal people, but they are they have a better chance to survive because of stamina and strength and etc. than some other characters that are just plain, simple, normal people. There are also gifted characters or inspired characters that have the abilities to channel or kind of like divine energies or psychic powers that may affect zombies. And while not exactly balanced, it helps. Everything helps to create a memorable zombie tale or story. So these characters are going to try to survive against the zombie hordes, and just staying there and fighting against all the zombies isn't going to work. Your character is going to get tired. He may get bitten and will become a zombie in a few turns, hours, or even months. It depends on the type of zombie. So you really have to think things through and see what's the most effective way to survive. And the book contains a lot of mini self-contained campaign settings. So maybe your zombies are caused by some sort of, as I said, an alien virus, or maybe it's because of some chemical substance that brought them back to life, or maybe something more supernatural. And you have all sorts of different options to play the different kinds of adventures. There's even an option for each player to be a zombie master and have an all-out battle of zombie armies. Maybe my zombies against your zombies, because there's an entire point system that helps you create all sorts of different zombies. You can customize your zombie army, and that's pretty cool. So this is not just a role-playing game. This could also be like a competitive game. Although, as I told you, it's not really balanced. It's more on just having fun. And well, let's see, if it has a weak point, maybe it's what I told you, that the system can get a bit crunchy sometimes. It's better to keep combats to a minimum. It's better for your characters to run away from the zombies. So if you're having a zombie battle, maybe you're going to have to spend like 4 or 6 hours instead of a quick session of 2 to 4, because you're going to be checking modifiers and different circumstances, etc. But this is actually a pretty complete game. This is an excellent toolkit. You have everything you need. You have instructions on how to create characters. You have different types of zombies. You have campaign settings. You have everything you need. And the best thing is that this game is expandable. You certainly don't need the other things, but there are different books that help you create better sci-fi adventures, or maybe something in kind of like kung fu adventures related to zombies, maybe a kung fu zombie or something like that. There's also other books that expand the campaign settings and give you a lot of ideas, but this book is everything you need. You don't need any of the others, but it's pretty cool that it's available. So if you want to create maybe something related to fantasy and zombies, I think it's called Dungeons and Zombies, you can buy that book, and it gives you a ton of options. Maybe I'll review that book later on. And well, this is a really good book. You should get it if you like zombies, and especially now that it's going to be Halloween, you should get this book. I don't think you'll regret purchasing it. I forgot, this is very important. The book also gives you subsystems to play without dice. If you don't like to roll dice, you can also play with normal playing cards, and you can also play it without dice and cards, just like using a very free-form system. So this is highly recommended. You should really get this book. Well, thanks for watching my review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. See you later.